What's up, everybody? Welcome to Booze and Biz, aka Get Lit with Nick. I am your host, Nick Glassett, and we are going to get lit today. So tonight's special drink sponsor is Ice Cold Refreshing Crisp Bud Light. I'm just kidding. I'm not sponsored by Bud Light. I should be, though. Anheuser-Busch needs to put in a call, dude. We need drink sponsors. So if you know anyone that is a drink distributor of any kind, please let's get some free booze up in here. But for real though, we do have a sponsor tonight, which is Rolls All. Okay, I got my low-key poor man's marketing back there, my Rolls All t-shirt. Rolls All, they make incredible inflatable dollies. They're also a sponsor of the Facebook group. I'm working with Tommy on this. I don't know the exact details, but there is a big announcement this week, a super cool, I'm just going to call it a thing, that Rolls All is releasing. We're going to release in the Bounce House Business Mentors group. It'll be announced there hopefully this week. Like I said, still working with Tommy on the details, but it's going to be super badass, so you don't want to miss it. Rolls All, they're super amazing, rollsall.com. I don't have a promo code or anything. Just tell them Nick sent you, I guess. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't get, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so I want to say hi to some peeps that are in here. So I've got some normal faces in here that I see all the time. We got David Wagner. And I saw some people over on Facebook too that I see all the time. But then we got lots of new people here. Sean Keimer, what up? Michael Green, what up? We got Jeremy Cherry, what up? Foam Daddy in the house. I wonder if that's actual Foam Daddy. That'd be cool. But anyways, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for joining us. We got Cody and Mark Good coming in to the room here. So yes, please don't be scared to ask questions. You wish you had that weather. Yeah, the weather was, I can't say I wasn't just loving running in the heat today. It was very beautiful. I was in a tank top, sweaty, should have gone shirtless. It was magnificent. It will not be like that for much longer. It gets cold this weekend. All the rentals this weekend canceled because the weather's going to be so shitty, but it's all good. It is all good. If you guys are on and you're liking what I'm talking about, there is a little button on Facebook. This is to you, Facebook folks. There's a little button that says share. If you hit that button, guess what it does? It shares it to all of your followers. So if you want to be part of the share squad and have just a nice spot in my heart, hit the share button. If you do, please let me know somewhere in the chat so I can shout you out, because that's huge. I love when people share. And then even if you don't want to share because you don't want your people seeing me in your feed, that's totally cool. I respect that. Hit the little heart button. I think it's a heart button or a smiley face button. And it's been a long time since I've watched somebody else's Facebook Live, but I'm pretty sure you can just hit it like 1,000 times. So give me like 200 of those. Give me like 200 hearts. That'd be amazing. But all right, without further ado, let's jump. Oh no, I do actually want to notate what I'm drinking tonight. So my wife found this crazy tequila. I believe she did a tequila taste test like at a grocery store. We have those in Louisiana. It's pretty awesome. It's called Ghost. It's a spicy tequila. So not only is it a really good tequila, which I love me some tequila, but it's spicy. And so I've made a margarita with it. We make margaritas with it all the time. And then it's got like a spice to it. It's good stuff, man. It is good stuff. Ghost. And by the way, if anybody knows the reps of Ghost, tell them to hook me up with some free bottles for shouting out their stuff. But yeah, so I've got one margarita we're going to sip on. Had a good protein for dinner, so we're not going to get wasted over here. But then we're going to switch to a lovely, crisp, watery Bud Light after that. And I did put one White Claw in there, just in case I'm feeling froggy. And bear with me, I do have a little bit of a sickness I'm getting over, so I may be coughing a tad bit, so bear with me. That being said, you guys, I love when you guys ask questions. It's my most favorite thing. So please, if you have any questions at all for anything business related, jot them down, put them in your phone, whatever. I would love to answer them. You can ask them in the chats, either on Zoom or on Facebook, or you can raise your hand on Zoom and talk. That's cool too. I got no problems with that. But I love to answer the questions. Before we get into that, I did want to kind of go through and what I want to jump into this week is how to invest in your business, how to properly invest in your own business. So from jump, right, at first, when you start a business, your main investment, like you do have things you got to buy, but your main investment is going to be time, right? You're going to be working on your business. You're probably the only person that's going to be working on your business. And unless you got, a $6 million investor, which I'm sure very few people here have, It's just going to be you building everything, right? You're going to be building your logo. You're going to be building ads. You're going to be building your marketing, all the procedures of all the things that you do. You're probably going to build from scratch some crazy CRM. Mine was a desk calendar with colored pencils, different colors for different clients. It was kind of crazy, right? But that's what you should do. You should build everything yourself because you need to be the master of your own business. You need to know how everything works, and you kind of have to launch things, learn from them, tweak them, and then relaunch them so you can figure out how the hell to even do this whole crazy business entrepreneur thing, right? Now, I do have a fun little suggestion for you along the way here. As you're launching your business, and even if your business is launched and already working, I suggest you start doing this as soon as you possibly can. Start documenting everything with as many pictures and videos as you can posted to your stories. Your stories on Facebook and your stories on Instagram, and most of us here probably have them linked to where they just like cross post automatically or whatever. They're like throwaways. You can just post anything there and it goes away in 24 hours. The reason that I push you super hard to do that is two reasons. The small little second reason is like people will notice and you will get some business because you'll get a little bit of word of mouth, right? That's cool. The main reason though is because 1 year from now, right? 1 year from now as an entrepreneur is like 25 minutes. It's just like, the time just ticks so fast and it's hard to even freaking keep up. So as you post all that stuff on social media, you get a nice little notification, whether it's on TimeHop, and TimeHop doesn't connect to your stories, or on Facebook, it says stories from a year ago, and you'll get to see where you were a year ago. It will boggle your freaking mind how far you've come in a year. And it's a very, very, very good tool to keep you motivated and on track, because you kind of start to lose focus of how much you've actually accomplished. Like you always have imposter syndrome is what I've heard it been called, which I think is, I'm not a huge fan of that term, but you always think, oh, I've got this I got to work on, I got that I got to work on. Like you're never where you want to be really. But when you can look back a year ago, it's very eye-opening how far you've come. It's very humbling and it's very motivating. So trust me, take as many pictures and videos as you can, post them all over the internet. It'll be great. Even if they just stay in your camera roll, TimeHop will catch your camera roll and you can check TimeHop every day. And it's a very great tool. Anyways, back to building a business. So after you invest all this time and effort into building all this stuff and it's crazy, and you don't have a life anymore because you have your job and your entrepreneurship life, or maybe you just have entrepreneurship life, the cool thing starts to happen, and that is your business starts to work. The thing starts to go. You start to get sales, clients, success. It's super amazing, right? As that starts to happen, though, another thing starts to happen. You start to run out of time, right? You can't run a business and be every employee. Like it's just not possible. So from this point, okay, when you find yourself at a crossroads where you feel like time is a resource you don't have enough of, what I strongly suggest you would, I'm going to rephrase that. What you have to do is figure out a way to get some technology into the business to where it'll free you up to be able to go kind of back into CEO role, less into like data entry, bottom rung guy. So this technology, like, you say it like that. I kind of debated if I was going to say it like that because it sounds scary. So instead, let me just tell you how I do basically my 3 businesses that I have. Okay. So I have, for my Christmas light business, I have a piece of technology, right? It's just a service, an app, if you will, that's called Jobber. Jobber houses everything that there is to have inside the business, right? Everything that I need is in Jobber, and everything happens inside that little ecosystem. Bids come in from Jobber, bids go out from Jobber, billing goes out from Jobber. Like it just houses everything. Okay. For my inflatable business, my inflatable rental business, I use Inflatable Office. So those of you that are on this call that are or on this show that are inflatable people, of course, you know what Inflatable Office is. I'm not going to go into detail of why I love them, but I absolutely love them to death. I don't think, aside from buying a Rollsall, I don't think there's anything that was a bigger lifestyle change and improved my life more than getting Inflatable Office, getting a website with booking software. It's insane how much it freed up my life, right? Then the third one is my Shopify store for all of the straps that I sell. that is a much less labor intensive whole, client thing, because it's an online store. So people just go on there and shop. But give you a for instance, today I'm sitting at my desk working on, I think I was working on this. And then I start getting emails. Somebody booked a combo for the middle of March, right? Paid $230. She paid in full today. I literally didn't do anything. It just boom, boom, boom. She booked it. We were done here. I pay about $190 a month right now for Inflatable Office. And then it basically just prints me money, right? Yes, there is sometimes we have to interact with the clients, but it's all good, right? Clients are clients, and you got to do what you got to do to work with them. That Inflatable Office piece is just incredible. On top of that, I do use a fourth piece of technology or software called Event Hawk that does marketing stuff. It's a super effective marketing funnel. And it has its own CRM piece as well. So that works well with Inflatable Office. And I love those two together. Doubled my revenue year over year when I instituted both of those. Jobber I pay $230 a month for, which I know is a lot when you're doing Christmas lights for 6 weeks a year, but it's so freaking worth it. I can't even begin to explain it to you. And then my Shopify is like $26 a month. But if you're an entrepreneur and you're in a situation where you need some sort of CRM, of booking software, of whatever it is. Oh, and my wife is a business owner too. She uses Vagaro for her salons. That's how she books her clients. So really, our family has 4.5, 5 if you count Event Hawk. But I'd be more than happy to discuss Jobber with anybody that's in the services industry. And I'd be more than happy to discuss Inflatable Office and or Event Hawk with anybody that is in the inflatable industry. And then Shopify, I'm not like a master, but dude, I'm totally down. But if you want to, I will carve out some time to make some one-on-one calls with people. So just send me a message. I will set aside time. I will talk to you about all the things that I use to help me out, because that's how passionate I am about how much you need them in your business. Just because they make life so easy. And then let's see what's next. So once you get that instituted, your business starts to go even faster, right? Because now you are not wasting so much time writing names on a calendar or whatever the hell it is you're doing. You can go back into building the business, and the back end kind of works through the technology piece. And then the business gets bigger, even bigger, right? And then you find yourself again in that same situation. And you're kind of like, well, shit, I already got the booking software, or already got the this, that, or the other piece of technology. What do I do next? You hire people, you hire a person. Now, the position, so hiring in and of itself is a mega passion of mine. B, way too big of a topic to cover right now. So if you have questions, please ask those at the end of my little TED talk here. But where I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of all the hiring and team building stuff. Okay. What I will say though is the first position you should hire for is, if you have this, is something that's non-customer facing, because it's easier to hire that person. All you got to do basically is teach them how to do the thing, and then they can just go do the thing. They're not facing customers, so you don't have to worry about all the other little pieces that can kind of get in the way. Train them on procedure and you're done. Plus, that keeps you interacting with clients, especially in the early days. That's very important, because you're the engine that makes the business go. So try to hire on the back burner stuff that is non-customer facing, so you can continue to be the driver of the business in those earlier days. The other thing that you can hire, the other thing about the technology piece that is great, and it does take a little bit of scale to get there, but you can hire somebody to then go run your technology piece. So last season, I hired Cassie, who is a long time client of the Jump Off, a great person who I know well just from dropping off bounce houses at their house super long time ago. She's got all sorts of little hustles that she does. Her freaking pepper jelly is like exquisite. But anyways, I put out an APB that I was hiring for a back end person for that. She applied, interviewed her like normal, made the decision to bring Cassie on over the other 4 people that applied, and she absolutely positively crushed it. She's now actually working this week, transitioning into the Jump Off. So then starting next Monday, we're going to have a Zoom call to go over everything. And then basically all the back end Jump Off stuff is like off of my plate onto Cassie's. There will be a little bit of a learning curve. Obviously, I'll still be interacting with clients a little bit when they ask questions that Cassie doesn't know yet, but I'm able to now hire out a person to go run that back end stuff, right? And she gets to stay at home and play on the computer all day, right? And she has like a computer job too, but she gets to stay at home and can play on the computer for my businesses and make a huge impact on them there, right? And it's magical. So huge shout out to Cassie. And that's about it. So from a person who's done this now 3 times, where I've built something, hired people, got technology, and then hired on the back of technology. I've done that 3 times in all 3 sections of my businesses. I can tell you that it frees you up to kind of have the freedom to think and be the CEO that can work on cool stuff, vision, and team camaraderie stuff, not so much being the best employee, like being your own employee, you know what I mean? So that being said, I do want to open it up for questions here. So if you guys have some questions, please either unmute, ask them. You can do a little hand raise thing on Zoom or drop them in the Facebook chat. It's a pretty active little chat. And then we have a bunch over too in the Zoom chat. You can drop them there too. And I get a lot of people too that will DM me after I do these, and they're very thankful, and they're, they just want to, how can I support you? I appreciate you so much. And the answer is, number one, like, I enjoy this so much. Like, you don't need to do any of that. If you're dying to, you can go to the jumpoffstore.com and buy some straps or something. But it's my absolute pleasure to help people. It's just kind of something I love to do. So no worries. All right, so let's open it up for questions. If anybody has any, start going, and then I'm one-man show here, so I'm gonna go back through the comments here.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's up, Josh? Been a long time since you've been
on. I'm just wondering how you became so amazing.
So I worked for this company for a long time, and they taught me how to be amazing, and then I quit and started my own businesses. That's
everyone sees it. Everyone loves you. We all see it.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. Anybody have any real questions?
Yeah, when you say you're training someone for the back end on your business, is she answering all your phone calls, doing like changes on your website, changing prices, putting in like, are you teaching her how to understand IO on the backside and also customer service side too?
Yeah, so it's kind of it's in the preliminary stages right now. Basically what I did was I gave her access to Event Hawk and Inflatable Office, and she's better with computers than me. So I just said, go learn some shit and kind of watch, how I interact with people, whatever, and tinker with it. And then next week is when we're going to go full bore. As far as the website and prices and the back end, and the back end of website, everything goes. As of now, I'm not planning on having her do that. However, if it gets to the point where it's something that she could do better than me, or I'll put it differently, if it's something that she can take off my plate, then hell yes. That being said, like, it's not really, I don't feel like it's on my plate too much as of now. Like, I'm going through and fixing like my pictures on my website right now, trying to get the backgrounds out of them. I got a little gradient I'm putting behind them all, and like, it's time consuming and tedious. If I can outsource that at some point in time, hell yes. But basically it's going to be all the customer interaction. So all the messages that come into Event Hawk, she'll answer. And then all the messages or then all the bookings that come through an Inflatable Office where it's blue, it's just the quote. They just got the quote. She'll go in and follow up with that person through Event Hawk. I got a whole template basically that she'll be sending. I mean, that's the beauty, is like, I told her, I'm like, once you learn this, it's going to be like, you're just going to be clicking to send templates, like a copy and paste. I say the same shit over and over and over anyway. You know what I mean? So it'll be all customer stuff. And yes, she already answers the phone.
Did she do a little bit of social media for you too? Or like I said, just strictly?
Not yet. I definitely want to get that. I want to get her to be the master of Event Hawk and Inflatable Office. So when we get to freaking May and it's like drinking from a fire hose, I almost doubled my inventory since from last year to this year, right? So it's going to be nutty. So I wanted to be an expert in all things customer relations, so that way she can handle 95% of those things without having to come to me. And she will be able to as well. Like, she handles everything in the Christmas light business already anyways. At that point we'll see. I would love to give her a raise and have her freaking, post something. Like, we'll just take pictures and videos and send them to her, and she can post them on the Facebook page or whatever. I'd love to give her a raise and have her do that too, because as of now, I can't find the time to do it. So like, my social media game blows on the business side, which is ironic, I feel like.
I don't know. I think I've seen you comment on it the other day too. I think it's something I've never thought about this, but from the high point, copy and paste in the link of their open invoice, I guess you would call it. I don't know why I've never thought about that, but when I seen y'all talking about that the other day, that's an easy way of just saying, here it is. Like, it's the same kind of concept like the Google reviews. You ask people for reviews and they won't actually look you up and go to it. But if you give them a direct link, that entices them more to want to, or to do it, because it's just the ease of it. Because sometimes they're like, oh, well, I went and checked out, it didn't save it, I don't want to have to go through the whole process again. So that was something that was pretty big that I seen y'all talking about.
Once I freaking figured that out, like mid last year, like it's probably summertime last year. Once I figured that out, dude, it was like game changer. Yeah. So basically, let me try and get as much information, personal information out of it as I can. So basically what I do is, she was asking about a unit, right? And it wasn't going to be big enough. And then I don't remember if it was one was out of her price range or something. I don't know. We were talking with a whole bunch of people today, but so I said, oh, no, she was worried about it's gonna be too cold. She wanted a tall water side, but it's gonna be too cold. It's gonna be March 4th. She didn't know. I said, yeah, just get a combo. That way it can be dry. Get this big combo, the LSU combo. And she said, LSU combo, that sounds great. We're huge LSU fans. So then I go into Inflatable Office, change her rental of the water slide to the LSU combo. And then in the bottom, just right here, you just go right here, boom, copy link. And then I click over to Event Hawk and paste the link in there. So that's that link right there, and say, all right, updated your thing, pay the $50 deposit, it's yours. Boom. I close so many more rentals because of that. It's crazy. Yeah. So anybody using Inflatable Office, now you know the secret to freaking closing the deals.
Does Inflatable Office have, like, because on ERS, like, when somebody gets on the website and they add something to their cart and they put their phone number and their email and stuff, if they don't actually finish the order, ERS like automatically, you have this pre-made template where you can, anyone who doesn't finish their order, it's incomplete, it sends them the template and it's like, hey, we saw you didn't finish your order, here's $20 thing. Does Inflatable Office do that?
It can. So if you have, I think you have to have IO phone to do it via text. And then there's all sorts of back-end like automations. I don't know if Chad's in here or not, but Chad is like the Inflatable Office wizard. He would know, and I'm pretty sure he does that. It's an automation I think you have to build. What's different from, and I don't know ERS like hardly at all. I only know what like people have told me. But in Inflatable Office, there's a whole list of leads that's super valuable. And I found out, let me share this so I can show you. But I found out the other day that ERS doesn't have this. So basically what we do is go to the leads. Oof, running slow because we're streaming. And there's my sales figures. Okay, so these are all the leads that are in here. So they come in like this, right? So Nicole is the one that booked today. So she went in and started one, for whatever reason, left and booked something different because the dollars are different. Came back in and booked something different. But like if it comes in and it's blue like this and it just says quote, they just went in, and the back end works different, the front end works different for the clients, where they go in and get a quote and then book. That's the way Inflatable Office works. So that way it always comes through. And then I don't know if I'm going to have any. I don't get them super often, but you get one where it'll be called a partial, where they don't finish, but it saves all the information. And so basically what she's going to do, what Cassie's going to be doing is, Like these I built manually. That's for school. I built those manually today. That's also one I built manually today for that client. But like this, like she already followed up with her, right? But when they come in and they just see the quote, then they didn't pay, then she goes in and restarts a conversation with Melody of, hey, we saw that you got a quote but didn't finish booking. Did you have any questions? By the way, here's the link to finish your booking. Half the time they just click the link and go pay, and they don't even reply. But so that's mainly what Cassie will be doing, is trying to lock down those leads. You know, and
So
that's go ahead.
do you pay her hourly or per person that she talks to?
I'm gonna do per day. So I'm just gonna give her a set amount per day. It'll be lower right now because it's just not that busy. And as it ramps up, if I like to keep a very open dialogue with all of my people. So I just told her, I said, as it ramps up, if your life gets crazier, just let me know, right? I will make sure you're compensated for the level of work you're doing. Right now it's going to be pretty easy come May and June and first week of July will be right much more intense. So we'll just see, but it'll just be a per day amount. As I add on to what she's going to be doing, I'll be able to take that up X number of dollars. We'll see whatever the hell it is. But if she can start doing social media, cool. Whatever, bump you $10 a day to, post and comment on reply to comments, whatever it is.
What about cold calling?
Yeah, dude, I would love to have her freaking cold call the schools and the PTA and all that.
Well, I'll send you, because I bootlegged Grant Cardone's cold calling course. I stole it. I got all the videos. I'll send them to you. It's like there's so many. It's so detailed with like how to get through the gatekeeper, how to get to the decision maker. So many different steps, and it's such a good thing to learn.
That's
I'll
cool.
send it to you.
Yeah, that'd be badass, dude. I used to be a big fan of online courses, and I used to bootleg them all the time. You'd pay $50 to get access to 1,000 of them or whatever. Those weird dudes on Instagram.
Yeah, he even made it where it was supposed to be impossible to download. I was like, no, I have some Firefox plugins, and I'm gonna download all these videos.
That's awesome. It is Paul. So it is Paul from Foam Daddy. What's up, Paul? First time in here, man. That's super cool. Paul, the owner of Foam Daddy.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's up, man? How are you, Paul?
I'm doing well. Just getting ready for next week. We're excited. So just hanging out, just learning what you guys are doing over here.
Yeah, what are you guys doing next week? I saw some chatter about it online, but obviously you can do it more justice than me.
Yeah, we're just doing our foam convention. It's gonna be the first ever foam convention in Vegas, and we have 145 people paid up already and going. So it's gonna be awesome. So can't wait.
That's super cool, dude. That is super cool. Is
Yeah.
it so you guys are putting it on, right?
Yeah, we're putting it on. Yep.
And then is everybody that's coming is going to be like people like me, right, that put on foam parties?
Yep, exactly. We have about 20 people that are brand new, and then the rest are just people that already own our equipment, and they're just, there to learn how to grow their business and everything like that. And, we try to help them out, get in contact with everybody that they need to do, like SEO or AdWords or, whatever they want to do to, there's always one facet of their company that's, always lagging, and we're just trying to help them out, fill that need for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get more. I think I get more questions, right? I get tons and tons and tons of inflatable questions, but the next subject I get the most questions on, I think, is probably foam. I'm not certain. I get a lot of tent questions too, but I think foam outweighs it. So let me see if I can ad hoc here, pick your brain.
Yeah.
Right. So a large majority of my audience already is inflatable operators of any varying level, right? So in your experience, if you add that on to your existing inventory versus launch an entire, I don't want to call it an entire second business, but launch, a whole separate wing of the business, is the success level different?
Well, it's really about two things. You know what I mean? The SEO part, you don't want to start a whole new business because you need a big, good, website to actually help your new keywords. So if you start a whole new site, you're only going to have a few keywords, and it's going to be a very, very low ranking site. So you just want to add it to your existing site and have your old keywords help your new keywords get ranked higher. So yeah, so on that aspect, you definitely want to keep it within, but you definitely do want to separate it a little bit from your rest of your, inflatables and everything like that, because sometimes it can get lost. But if you just start a whole page on your existing site, so then when you send the link to people that are looking just for foam, they don't have to search your whole site trying to find the foam, when you can just direct them right to it.
Right, whole page. That's a good idea. That's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as no shit, I just forgot my question. I had a good question, a good follow-up question. I totally forgot it.
Oh, no problem.
What is I don't want to say an average, but like what can you do in foam parties per year, revenue wise, if you are serious about it? Like if you do it right and put the
Yeah.
effort in.
Yeah, so people, like Christopher Weed, he does a crazy amount. He does like 150,000. But your first couple of years, if you get going, you're doing well, you can add another $30,000 or $40,000 to your revenue just in foam minimum. You know what I mean? But if you get up into higher things, like I said, Chris does about $150,000 worth of foam parties. The thing is you're getting the same amount of money as an 18-foot water slide. So if you're getting paid $400 for the 18-foot water slide, the foam's gonna be right in between $400 to $500, and it only weighs 43 pounds. So, some people are finding a little bit of success with that, with being able to send out the foam machine with somebody that can't pick up or roll up a 500 or 700 pound inflatable that's wet, right? They can send out somebody that can just pick up 45 pounds and they can do a foam party. So that's something that's
And
cool.
do you have is it a good mixture of kind of drop off and go versus host the whole party, or is one skew heavier than the other?
Yeah, no, I suggest people do both, because sometimes, you can always get more money if you're going to go out and do the party for somebody, basically turnkey event, obviously. But it's, you can also just have them come and pick it up from you, and you can rent it out. All you have to do is knock off $50 off of there, and then, you're good to go. You can make money and not have to go out and do the event. So you can do it both ways. Here in Arizona, I don't ever go out and do parties. We just rent it out. We have them come up and pick it up on Thursday. They do the party on Friday, and they'll drop it off to us either on the weekend or on Monday. And also charge them $500 or $600. They run it themselves, and I don't have to man it. I don't have to schedule anybody or anything like that.
Yeah, that's sweet. You have them come pick it up. We always go drop it off.
I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy to go and chase them around. I'll just have them come pick it up the day before. But it works different for me because we are the manufacturers. We have hundreds of machines in our warehouse. So for us, it doesn't matter if they come pick up the day before and drop it off the day after. You know what I mean?
Right. Wes is asking, how do you charge for a school?
So for schools, you charge a little bit more, and you definitely charge by the time, but you definitely charge a little bit more. And the way you tell them the reason why you're charging a little more is because you need to use more product, you need to use more solution, all that sort of stuff, and they get it. And you can charge them a little bit more. And I would still charge them about $500 or $600 for each hour going on. So, but if you do $500 or $600 the first hour, you can knock it down and maybe do like $400 the next hour. But you'll definitely need to know how many kids they're doing, how long of a period you're going to be running the machine, all that sort of stuff to get them the right, quote.
Yeah, because you're charging by hour basically because that's how much foam you're anticipating they're going to use. Or
Yes.
solution, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Charge them more because they have more money.
Yeah, exactly.
I charge schools like for sandbags and stuff. I never charge anyone else for sandbags. Like,
Yeah,
charge
I
them
think
for
I'm gonna start
everything.
doing that this year too.
Every single generator.
Yeah, the school stuff is right. It's one of those things where everybody's dream is to get the schools so they have these weekday rentals or whatever. And then when you get them, you're like, oh shit, it's like a whole different business. Like this is crazy. And it's tough to manage it. Yeah, because I
You
tell
have to do
everybody
that
too,
for
I'm like,
city events too.
you're so used to the normal cadence of weekend to weekend, and then you clean everything in the middle, and then all of a sudden you lock down these schools. They're all having their parties at the same time. Sorry, my kids are mega loud. I don't know what they're doing in my office, but they're all having their parties at the same time, and they're all during the week. And so all of a sudden, like you're going like weekend to weekend, all of a sudden like day to day, and it's super easy to forget the sandbags when you're trying to juggle so many things. They're amazing. I'm not trying to talk down on school events, but they're just very freaking labor intensive.
Yeah, we figured that out the hard way last year. Like it was our first year. We were excited about it, and we did wet events for all the schools. The first one we get to, for one, all schools are built on terrible soil. So we had these cheap stakes. We bent every one of them. That's when we invested in water bags, which is the best investment ever to have. Two, they're going to be muddy. When they run that many kids, we didn't think about this either, but when they run 100, 200 kids through it, the pools, the slides, the sides of them, everything. Throw the tarps away. They're done for. Like it's the biggest pigsty mess you've ever seen. And we were flipping them, like we were out till 12 o'clock at night, picking them up, taking them to the next school, like getting them clean. You know, it was crazy. I mean, but
Yeah,
it's definitely something to prep for sure.
Yeah, mine wasn't that crazy, but we did have some like we had 2 obstacle courses that were rented out like fucking randomly on a Tuesday or something at parties, like backyard, and it poured rain out of nowhere, so they're trashed. The next day we have a school event. Well, that morning the principal, I think it was the principal, called me because I know her, and she was like, hey, it's too big of a mess, we have to do these in the gymnasium. I'm like, dude, we didn't clean these units well enough to put them in a gym. Like they got trashed, but they're going to a school event. Like we polished them up as much as we could. Dude, that was stressful.
That would have been extra, like $600. If you go through the gym and putting it on the gym floor, it's extra $600.
Should have been. Yes. Should have been. Totally.
But what's the best way to approach that? Because we ran into that with a church one time. Like it was right at the weird turn point in like October-ish, kind of maybe a little before, where it was like some people were using them wet, and then we had like the churches using them dry. We show up and this woman told me like, oh, this combo's too small for the kids. We need to add a slide. And I happen to have it on the trailer. Well, the slide was a wet mess. So we're there in front of everybody with towels, and dude, you can't get it. Like it just keeps pushing through the seams. And we wiped and wiped, and we went through probably 20 towels drying this thing down. And finally, like the kids just got on and said their ass will dry it as they slide down. Like they'll just tell them to keep going. Like, but I mean, they never said anything about it. But that's those times where you're like, shit, like that's embarrassing. But then again, maybe they don't look into it as much as we do. But man, that kind of stuff is tough when you're running into it.
It's just, I mean, you just kind of do the best you can do. And what I've noticed too is like we go out of our way to try and be as friendly as possible, as accommodating as possible, high communication. Like that's how the basis of the jump off was built, right? So then when we do show up to a large school event and there's some weird issue like that, you know, you have you kind of have equity that you've built up to where they're going to be a little more understanding, and it's not going to be such a deal breaker. Whereas if you're an asshole the whole time on the lead up and they're in the dark and they don't even know if you're coming, and then you just show up at a random ass time and then it sucks, they're going to be pissed. You know what I mean? So I feel like we kind of do our best defense is our offense, you know, because we did have one school event. They had two water slides, and then our foam machine, which was not a foam daddy machine, different machine, but and a piece of it broke, like a piece of it like wore out, like it was just broken. But everything was working when the guys set it up. Like I was on FaceTime with them while they set it up, because I was setting up the fucking gymnasium mess while they were doing 2 water slides and a foam pit. You know what I mean? And so I'm on FaceTime with them, like I want to make sure everything's good. And then all of a sudden the foam machine explodes and won't run or whatever. I had to go to Ace Hardware and buy some goofy ass siphon thing and drive it out there and save the day or whatever, but the woman that was in charge of everything, she's like an assistant principal or something at that school. That's the second year I've worked with her. But like I get there and I'm like, all right, everybody out of the way, dude. I got the tape and I blast through, fix this thing, get it all done. And she's like, thank you so much. Like that first rotation of kids is going to miss that. And they're super disappointed, which sucks. But she's like, I just can't believe how fast you're here and like how much this event means as much to you as it does to all the kids. And I'm like, it does though. Like I don't know what else to say, And so I get a good review and they're going to use us next year and even though it was like low key worst case scenario.
Right. And that doubles back to my motivation to get like 2 of every popular item in your inventory, because at that time you could be like, okay, well, that one's soaking wet. The one at the shop, it's dry. Let's just go get it. So that's really motivated me to work towards, obviously not right this minute, but like work towards it with the next couple of years to get 2 of the most popular of all the popular items that go out a lot, because I feel like I could save the day a lot of times.
Yeah, I've got I was able to get multiples of 3 different slides for this next season. I was gonna buy basically nothing but multiples, but then I bought too many slides from other people, so I took what I could get. But I was able to get 3 multiples, and yeah, I'm the same. Like going forward, it's going to be like, I'm not going to go buy a whatever 22-foot slide. I'm going to go buy 2 22-foot slides, like 2 matching ones, so I can double up on everything, so I can always have that backup. All right, so I'm gonna jump. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, but the foam machine, was it a foam daddy that messed up that you had to go fix?
It was not. Different brand.
Okay, just making sure.
Different brand. All right, so somebody asked a while ago. Oh, Facebook, what are you doing? It's Jesse Hardy asked a while ago, how did the competition go? Or am I allowed to say? Yeah, I'm not under any like contractual obligations to not release any information or anything. That being said, I don't want to ruin the show. Like I don't want to have any spoiler alerts. I think pretty much everybody in this room. So I was on a show called The Blocks, BLOX. Basically, the basis of the show is Wes from The Challenge and Real World has a company where he's an incubator, so a startup incubator. So he's like a tech investor, right? Super smart with business, by the way. Like low key, didn't know that was coming. He has a class that he puts the companies he invests through to make sure that to give them a better chance of doing better. Well, he decided to offer that class to people. And then decided, right, he's a reality TV show, so he decided he's going to film it. The pilot, he said, kind of did shitty, so then they had to make it a competition as well. So what I basically went to was an entrepreneur class that was 5 days of coursework, right, and with a day on the end for travel and the day on the front end for some introductory stuff, whatever. So I was gone for 7 days, go through this intense class. And then like you eat lunch and then the competition starts. So in a nutshell, this is what I'll tell you. I didn't win. Okay. I do think I did pretty good, but they don't tell you, like, we don't know. We obviously know who won because we were there and we saw them give the trophy to the people that won. But other than that, we don't know any rankings. We don't know any points we scored. Like we're totally in the dark until the show comes out. I did, right. I am me. So I would go down to the lobby and wait for the coaches to come back from their evening event and then try and get with the coach that I had that day and get some information out of them, which I did routinely. And I basically routinely lost by a fucking point every day. So I was in second place pretty much 4 of 5 days. I was in second place. And one of the days, I don't know, I didn't go digging because I goofed up my whole pitch and I screwed it all up. So I didn't even ask Phil where I ranked that day. I learned a ton. And then just, it was an amazing experience because there's 80 other entrepreneurs there. It's like a big group of people that are on this show. You know what I mean? And so like, and you don't obviously know any of them, and you're in Kansas City and you're staying in a hotel, and then you walk over to where you shoot all day and you're there like all day. So like you get your lunch plate, and then you just go sit down next to a stranger, and like instantaneously you're talking about business because they're a business person of varying degrees. Like there's people there that haven't even launched their business, and there's people there doing multi millions, and you don't know who's who, right? You just sit down and then start talking about business. And so real quick, I kind of found out like everybody wanted to start a YouTube channel and a podcast and create a community. And I'm like, okay, well, shit, I've done that. So I did my best to try and help as many people that had those ambitions, to teach them how to launch stuff, or a Shopify store in one case or whatever. So I tried to make as big an impact as I could on as many people as I could while I was there. And then I tried my fucking hardest to win and was short every day. It was very frustrating. And then I made some great connections with the coaches too. Some of the coaches were amazing people. I didn't get to know them all because there's 7 coaches and you only have 5 of them. So there was 2 that I didn't get to know at all, but the other 5 were incredible. What I will say is, if you want to take your business to the next level and you're dead serious about it, and it's something that you can scale, that's in a scalable point, then going on that show is right. It's not easy. There's like 4,000 people that apply for every season or something crazy, right? But I would encourage you to apply. I would encourage you to shoot the videos, you know what I mean, to try and get on the show, because the coursework that Wes taught and then the competitions that we had to go through were valuable to a point I don't even know how to, I literally can't even put it into words how valuable it was. And then the community of people that we met, right? Like we're in a big Facebook group, just incredible people that all have like they're all entrepreneurs, right? They all want to launch a thing or scale a thing or have this idea or whatever. And it's just incredible being around them all. They're all amazing people. It was super great. So Google the Blocks, BLOX. I'm on season 7. My season will be released likely in 2 months, they said, which is crazy for how many. They're going to have 18 terabytes of video that they have to edit down to a 7-episode show in 2 months, which is nuts. But it was crazy. It was crazy. But I did not win. But I tried to bring it, so hopefully I'll get a lot of airtime. No Bud Light. You can do better. I know, bro. The Bud Lights. I don't know where the Bud Lights came from. That was Carlos. You banging on for drinking Bud Light. I don't know where the Bud Light came from. I started drinking it. I don't even remember how or why. Oh no, I bought it for the warehouse. Right during Christmas light season, we work at night, and so I buy beers for the warehouse. So like we get back to the warehouse and drink beers and unload the trucks or whatever. And like I jokingly bought Bud Light and then like liked it, so I just kept buying Bud Light. Now like it's all I drink. I don't know. It's weird. We got
Bud Light's amazing.
Bro, I love it. How do you reach out to schools and churches? Do a person, phone call, or email? So that's from Monique. Oh, Monique, I thought you had a question for me. I told you to come on and ask. But Monique asked, how do you reach out to churches and schools? Do you go in person, phone call, or email? That's for if you're an inflatable rental business, or I guess foam party business as well. That is something that I'm not the expert on. I'm very good at lots of things selling related. That kind of cold call thing is something that I've never been great at. I got school events by being excellent at backyard events, and then eventually serendipity happens. Do you do a party for the PTA lady, or the PTA lady goes to one of the parties you did, and the host tells them how great you were. Then you get one school. Then here's what happens though with schools and churches too, to a degree. You get a school event, right? If you go fucking crush that event, they then use you next year. I don't know how schools are where you guys are, but here like the grades are really separated. It's kind of weird. So like the school my little girl goes to, like she's in pre-K, and the pre-K section's like this big, right? But then there's like 30 kindergarten classes and 30 first grade classes and 30 second grade classes. Then they switch and they go to the school my son goes to for 3rd through 6th. So what happens is the PTA lady changes, right? Because their kid grows and goes to the next grade. So the old PTA lady just uses you because that's what I'm sorry. The new PTA lady just uses you because that's who was there last year. So make sure your branding is on point, with the yard signs and then the vinyl signs that are on the inflatables. And then obviously they just talk, hey, who'd you use last year? I used the jump off, whatever. And then the new PTA lady, then that switches schools potentially will become the PTA lady there, right? And it can snowball quickly year over year. So basically just go be excellent. Like that's the best sales tactic there is. Just go be excellent and you'll get all sorts of business. Now, I'm pretty sure Event Hawk has, I know Jana Thompson is like the master of the get to schools. She bakes like baskets. She goes to the dollar store or whatever right after school starts. So on sales, all the pencils and erasers and notebooks, puts them in a big basket and like hand delivers them to the schools, obviously with her company's flyers in them and everything. And she's got all sorts of other crazy tactics. If I'm not mistaken, right? So she's a major cog of Event Hawk. I think Event Hawk has like a course or something that they're doing on that. I don't remember. They're doing lots of things.
They have a course, yeah.
Yeah,
and they have like a template. They have a mail out template too that you can just pretty much just put your name and your company name in. But I didn't mean to interrupt you, but to touch on that, last year we wanted to get in schools really bad, and we kind of got into it a little late. Right now is the time to contact schools, like now, because if you don't, they do kind of, they look early. They try to book early. The big thing with schools, I sat up one night for like 5 hours and I looked through every single school. There's like 5-6 different people, like, counselors, bookkeepers, principals, assistant principals. And I sent every single school in my area, every grade level. I sent every one of them an email. Come to figure out, I wasted my complete time. It went all their spam folders. So I started making the templates, and I would just show up to the school. I knew a lot of the people too at the schools, but go to the front desk and just say, "Hey, I own Air It Up Inflatables. We're local, and we're looking to see if y'all need anything for summer party bashes, in the school bash year, or whatever." Once you get 1 or 2 or 3 of the schools, a lot of the teachers know each other. They ask each other these kind of questions a lot. Your name will flow out, which will also improve your backyard parties because the kids will remember. They'll tell their parents. And same thing with the churches too. Like once we got 2-3 schools last year, it just kept piling and piling on. So honestly, like cold calling, call the front desk, ask who they need to speak to, introduce yourself. You could even show up, or I guess we're going to try mailing letters this year. Hopefully that's better than email. So,
yeah. So you want to hear my opinion on how I get schools? So basically follow the money. That's how you find people. Call a school, find a financial department. They're going to know everything that the school spends money on, besides all the little clubs. You got to find out the little clubs. You got to reach out to them individually. They all have their own budgets. Their money is separate. Follow the money. So when you contact a school, this is what gets weird. Don't just because you have a school one year, your biggest mistake is thinking that you have a school the next year, because teachers change, positions change. These teachers are teachers. They are not event organizers. You might get lucky at certain schools. You got the chick or the one dude that he handles all this stuff. He likes handling stuff like this. He might be able to even run a business like one of these. But as far as like that goes, people try and push this job off year to year, or they put it to student councils, and it's the student council's decision at certain schools to purchase inflatables. So if you can get recommended on that student council as a referred vendor, because if you've worked with the kids before, you're okay with talking to kids and helping them with the business decision and going over the prices with them because they're a little bit slower. They're basically doing a deal on the phone for the first time. It's interesting, but doing stuff like that gets you into schools. Sending out an email gets you sent to a spam folder. I could show you how to not get sent to spam folders a different way, but that's that's another topic in general when you start doing email blasting. The best thing to do is in-person, face-to-face stuff. Go to the office, drop some flyers and some pamphlets, and have the office ladies spread it out to people they know are handling the events for that year. Beginning of the school year, like basically right around fall is a good time to actually do this for the year, because they establish usually those people that are doing things throughout the school year. Because right now you're in the middle of the school. Depends on what schools you're going to, because colleges are different. If you really want to start talking, well, you're recording this. I don't know if I should put it out there, but I'll put it out there. I don't care.
It's going on all the places. So
well, I'll tell you how to go to colleges now too. Colleges can get you a lot of different money, because they all different have like student different. Their association works like this. As a college, anybody that here went here to college, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't. You might have went to a different college or a weird college, but most colleges work like this. All the money goes into a pot. Like basically, okay. So let me start off. Your tuition has a fee on it that is a student activities fee or something along that lines. And that money goes into this giant pot. And that pot is not smokable, but no, that giant pot of that giant pot of money is not like, you have to use it every single year. It doesn't roll over. If they don't use all that money, then they don't get more money the next year. They almost get less money because it's all budgeting. Right. And all that money in the pot is used for our companies and stuff that we use. Some of it's split on catering, depends how the colleges work, but it's literally used for equipment like ours, all that different stuff, and rentals and entertainment for the kids. I'm going to leave it at that. All the different types of rentals and stuff, I'll leave it up to your imagination. I know them all. Follow me, Party Rental Knowledge. No, I'm just kidding. But
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm with, like, I want the money, not that I want the money, but I want like the revenue. I want the market share of the schools. Yeah. That being said, I'm like, last year was, I mean, and I did not do any work at all to get schools last year, and we did so many events that it was nuts. And right, the revenue's badass, and I want to beat last year. So it's like, I know I need to scale that side, but it's just, it was so insane having an obstacle course out. Like we had literally our 60-foot obstacle course went Friday, flipped it to Saturday, flipped it to Sunday. Nothing happened Monday. Then it went to a school Tuesday and a school Wednesday. Like, and that's $400 a pop. And it's like, it sounds amazing, but like to have, by the time it gets to freaking Wednesday and that thing's been out what I just said, 5 times. Like, dude, that thing's trashed. It's just, I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So there's got to be a better way to do it. We were I mean, I had plenty of staff too. It's not like I was understaffed. There's got to be a better way to do it though. So that's what I want to really hone in this year, is kind of on that SOP part of like, what's the standard operating procedure for getting the school rental, not getting the school, but executing the school rentals properly. So that way I can go aggressive, because that's what I do, is once I figure it out, then I go aggressive and get it figured out to where next year it's something that not only can we crush, but is highly scalable.
Yeah, the events are weird too. You want to hear a cheap trick, and cheap is relevant, but it's something you want. Okay, so I'll explain. Dunk tanks are cool, but like they only make you so much money for the amount of work. They almost even out. They're kind of shitty, but what it does to your SEO, having a dunk tank on your website, and the amount of schools and large festivals that want a dunk tank and more stuff on their orders, I recommend having a dunk tank. It's you know what I mean? It's honestly, it's just one of those things that, like a regular bounce house, I don't make money renting a little regular bounce house, but I got to have a few of them. You don't want to have an infinite number of those because you want combos. But if you don't have a regular bounce house, at least in your inventory or on your site, then like, are you a bounce house company? Like,
Right.
So it's one of those
Dunk
type of
tanks
things. But yeah,
I think dunk tanks are super easy though.
they are super easy, but how much money are you making?
Like 350.
Oh,
And
your dunk tanks go out more than mine. Everybody's got theirs at like 200, 250 over here. Mine's at 250 plus delivery.
the main problem with dunk tanks is they take up so much space in your trailer. They'll take up half a
Yes.
freaking trailer. And then you
Yeah.
got to start sticking tables and chairs inside the dunk tank and try to lift the bounce house and put it in the freaking dunk tank. So you got enough space.
Yeah,
But
that's why I don't
I
have
love
one.
my dunk tank.
Yeah, that's why I don't have one, because I'm like, dude, I don't have anywhere to house it. I do now, but I got to pay extra money for where it's got to go. So
I have some advice with schools though too, because I had no idea that you had to be like approved by different districts, and schools would start calling me and they would say like, hey, like you have so many good reviews and everything, we want to use you, but you're not approved by our school district. And I had no idea that I had to like send in the additional additional insured with the certificates to all these different districts, and I was missing out a bunch on that stuff. And I also think that the best way to get school events is doing walk-ins with flyers and making the people fall in love with you, but that takes the most effort and time.
yeah,
But you can also, I mean, you can also, once you get the cold calling down, that's the easiest way. You can contact the most schools in a day. And like once you master it, like I can cold call any school and have them switch to us all day. I just don't do it because I'm lazy. And I know that also if you're not cold calling, like cold calling is way better than not doing anything to get these school events. You know, like these big church events. I've done big city events for Wickenburg, Glendale, been Goodyear Ballpark. I mean, they're huge events for the entire city for like 4th of July and stuff. And with cold calling is amazing. It's not as good as walking in, but doing none of those things is the worst. You're not going to get any of them. Or, I mean, you might get some, but you're not going to get as much.
I need to break into our room.
Uh-huh.
We need a tool to do it because we'll do something like that.
Oh. I like how you walked in and everybody stopped talking.
Quit interrupting the meeting.
The vision.
You're supposed to be
Yeah,
watching the
break into my
kids.
room real quick. I need help
There's one on top of the door jam. Oh no,
in the
that's
bathroom,
the
like to get into our bathroom.
Okay. Good luck.
You shouldn't
All right,
wear
guys,
shoes in the
continue.
house too.
What'd you say?
Shouldn't be wearing shoes in the house.
Oh, right.
I'm just kidding.
We have a puppy, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. That's
You
goddamn.
got some Labradoodles, 2 of them. I saw them.
Goddamn puppy. Ugh. All right. Here's a question I wanted to answer that I've had up on my screen for a while. So from Chris Sweeney, very happy with my website. I use Wix. However, I schedule everything myself with a Google document. Very time consuming. Interested in finding a booking service that works with Wix. Do you know if Inflatable Office is compatible with Wix? So I don't know what you built on Wix. That if you built something on Wix that's dope, like badass, like good on you.
Get rid of it.
That's hard to do. Get rid of it ASAP. So basically, Inflatable Office is a website that is like, and there's all different like versions and templates, and now EventHawk has their own versions and templates, whatever. Right, so it can look different for every single person, but it's built for us. It is built for us already, and then you can go plug in your Wix descriptions and your Wix pictures, and they can go into Inflatable Office. So to answer your question though, no, Inflatable Office is not compatible with Wix. Like Inflatable Office is its own whole entire thing. That's the booking software and the website all in one. I promise you, whatever your Wix website looks like, your Inflatable Office website will outperform it tenfold. That's from a back end point like SEO point, like the stuff you can't see, the stuff you can't know. Yes, it's going to be clunky to learn. Yes, you're going to be frustrated because it's different than your Wix website and you can't navigate this and that like you used to. It works like that. They got a whole support team. You just email them and they'll fix it for you. You know what I mean? But if anybody has, this goes for any, I don't know how many people are on Facebook because my Facebook thing broke. So I don't know how many are watching live on there. But if there's anybody in here that's not an inflatable person, which I highly doubt, as we kind of went very in depth there on inflatable stuff. But if you're gonna start a website, like just pump the brakes for like a day and do some research on what you should start your website with. The off chance that it's Wix is, I just literally can't see an application where that should be the case, right? It should be a WordPress website, period, point blank, end of story. I don't give a shit. That's it.
WordPress all day.
WordPress powers 33% of all websites on Earth in the history of mankind. 33% is a large market share when you think about how many people have websites out there built on some other platform. You know what I mean? It's the biggest, the baddest, the best, the most robust, and the easiest to mess with because there's so many experts out there. WordPress. I can't bang that into your head hard enough. I don't give a rip what the other platform is. WordPress.
And in this business, inflatable office, VCN, or ERS is way better than WordPress or Wix. Wix is, yeah, I don't even know. Just
If you
don't
if you
do
build
Wix.
WordPress, all of those you can use that pretty much. You can use WordPress with all three of those sites if you want.
Yeah,
Like WordPress is very versatile, and like I will give this disclaimer here. Like the plugins, be careful what plugins you add. Like don't just start adding all kinds of like research your plugins. But WordPress is definitely an option, and especially if you want to be the one customizing it and doing all that stuff yourself, you can go with WordPress. But like as an API standpoint, like all of the other like ones are like API compatible, and you can use their back end to plug into your front end of your WordPress.
Yep. Yeah.
If you know what an API is, but
if you want to build your own website, which if you do, you're high. Just like and I mean that in a bad way. Don't build your own website. Like there's just no point.
Yeah.
In building your own website. Just
don't even do that either.
Yeah, get the shit that we all know works, and then you can the website. Like the website is probably your most important asset, but it doesn't have to be differentiated to a point. Like it's not that kind of asset. It just needs to look good and be easy to interact with. That's it.
Man, dude, listen, I made so much mistakes. Go to Tim, have him like pay him the money to build you a giant custom site, and you will make that money tenfold. Trust me. I paid I paid $500 for my custom site, and I did $365K this year, like in bookings. I doubled what I did last year. So like I switched software once already throughout all this stuff after working on it for 2 years after I used to use ERS. So like I've wasted money doing all this stuff. I wasted money going from one person designing it to another, not knowing where I spent the money. Just spend the highest tier and like save all the time and just work on it from there.
It's a good way to put it though. Like, because I don't know what the they build it for you costs are off the top of my head at all. Because I have a website. I don't research that anymore. I know I didn't pay it when I started mine because I'm like a bootstrapper. Like I'm way too bootstrap. And I wish I wasn't like this, but I just am. You know what I mean? But you said it well. It's like if it costs you $500, if you're gonna shell out $500 to have a badass website, yeah, you're gonna do $300,000 in revenue in a couple of years. Like it's do the math on that. It's like less than 0.1%, right? Like
it's ridiculously small. Like it's
and Wix charges you like a big yearly fee, and you're not getting like the route planning. It's not storing people's credit cards on file.
The route planning.
It's not doing like any of the features from any of these rental like companies.
Yeah, I mean, dude, tracking your inventory. Like people just go in and make their own reservation. Like the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah,
I
Wix
did a whole
sucks.
video where I
Just
streamed for
don't
like
do it.
20 minutes about literally what you call it. I basically ranted for 20 minutes. It said get a website and then label the company. So if you want to listen to that,
Yeah, but it's true though.
it's basically the same thing we just said. Get a website.
Get a
Use one of
website.
3 providers.
I haven't
Um,
even heard the name Wix until the last time my mom was trying to set up a website. And I
Yo,
was like, no, mama. I was like, mama,
yo,
don't do it. Don't do it.
yo.
no,
Don't do
no.
it.
All right, I got to get to this
Don't
question
roast
because
him, man.
I think this question came to me today on Messenger, and I told him to message here or to ask here. But Raphael Pavon, we were chatting today on. He was messaging to me a bunch of questions today, and I was like, "I'm busy, bro. Just come on Booze and Biz tonight." So he said, "How much would you charge if customer wants all weekend rental, for example, with numbers being 250 for a combo and 300 for a water slide?" So there's like a billion different ways you can answer this. The beautiful thing about our industry is you can do whatever the hell you want. That being said, what you want to do is set up a parameter that is X number of dollars for a second day. It could also be X percentage of the full price rental from yesterday for the second day. I actually have mine pretty cheap. Mine's only $100. All units, $100 second day. I price it low and still people don't do it that often. So it's just like, I like to price it, but it's very, very easy, right? It's at $100. I don't have to do anything. Now, yes, I can't, it does hold that piece of inventory an extra day to where I can't go make the $300. But like when you're busy for me, my busiest month is May. When I'm busy in May, if I can make $100 doing nothing versus another 300 for flipping, I'm going to take the $100 because that's just so easy. So that's the right number for me. But that's your answer. Like you just got to figure out. When I was much earlier in the company, like when the jump off didn't have the market share that we have now and the kind of the clout that we have now, I think I was $60, $40, $60, and it was like landing page said extra day, $60, only $60 for a second day. But yeah, just figure out how you want to set it up, whether it's 50% off the next day. Some people do no money off, like it's $250 the second day too, because they know that they rent it out a second day, they'll get $250 for it. I think you make more money giving it at a cheaper price, but that's just my opinion.
I agree with you. ERS had it set up when I first launched with the ERS. It was 80% of the total amount for the second day, third day. Any time after 6:30 a.m., it was 80% more. And people, they would book and then they would put their start time and their end time at 9 a.m. the next day, and it would literally just charge them the 80% more, and they would pay it all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, that's the way mine's set up. So I do 6-hour rentals at 7 out, right? It's software, like it's rigid. So at 7 hours, it adds the overnight fee of $40. I think my overnight fee is $40. And I have people that like, I don't ever notice, right? I don't go and like study what people do. I don't notice until the day of the event. No, not the day of the event. When I'm setting up the route, usually on Thursdays, is when I start looking at all the details. And they rented it for 7 hours and got charged the $40 overnight fee. Like it happens so often.
And see, you would make more money because I used to do 24-hour rentals, and then I went to 12 hours. Now I do 5 hours, and it's 30% more. Like to keep it overnight, it's 30% more. It's 20% more anything over 5 hours. People they'll put their party from 12 to 6, and they don't even notice that
Right.
they're getting charged 20% more. And then
Yeah,
the next day, 80%.
That's the same. Like, and like I have too good of a conscience. Like, so that one that I was messing with today, she'd set that water slide up for 7 hours and got charged the $40. So like when I went in and manually did it, I caught it because I was like, that's not the price of that slide. What's going on? And I'm like, oh shit. And so when I changed it to the LSU combo, like I knocked her $40 off. I took the $40 off. And
Well,
still
I do
left
that
her.
all the time for a 5-star review. I'm like, just so you know, you
Right.
you booked for 6 hours. We're on a 5-hour window, and like this is going to cost you like $120 more. But if you just leave us a 5-star review, that's why I have so many more 5-star reviews than anyone else around here.
Yeah, you have a lot. All right, I'm kind of like going Facebook bias tonight, but another question from Facebook. Monique asked, honest opinion, I do. Oh, dude, hold on. Why is it doing that? Okay, I do have. Oh my god, I do have the money to invest in a website. I think I'm just nervous about spending the money if I don't have to. Do you think a professional website will get you more bookings or more events? So it's a question. Like the first follow-up question to you is, how many units do you have? Like, so if you have 1 unit, the answer is still yes, but I'm going to side with you more than I would side with myself on yes. If you have 5, 6, 7, 8 or more units, there's no words to tell you how much of a no-brainer it is to get a website. Like the amount of money that I made, right? Because I did the same thing. I did $85,000 in revenue with no website. $85,000 off a Facebook page alone, and then me booking everything manually, right? And it was the, like I said in the beginning, was the calendar with the colored pencils. And then I had too many inflatables and not enough colors, so I had to invent some system that went into the iPhone. And there was some conveniences to it because I could share it with the other dude that worked with me, and I could share it with my wife so she could know when she needed to come help me pick up the fucking 600-pound slides, whatever. And then I took Lee from Inflatable Office on this wild ride of a sales call where like it took him like 3 months to close the deal. You know what I mean? But he stayed persistent and closed me at $120 a month. For a website, but and this is before I was a YouTuber. Like I was just some random dude in Louisiana that had 17 units. You know what I mean? And he still treated me amazingly. So then I finally started the website. My wife gave me so much shit. So I'm a hardcore bootstrapper and don't like to spend money on things. My wife is like times 10. Like it's really ridiculous. She'll literally drive back to Target to return something that's $3. So when I told her I was spending $120 a month on a website, like she freaked out, not freaked out, but was very adamant that I was making a mistake. And I knew I wasn't, because I was the one running the business. And then as soon as we start, so I started like right now, it was like January or February. So it was slow so I could learn it. By the time we got to summer, it was just kind of like, I just booked $600 of slides today and I'd never talked to a person. You know what I mean? Like insane. So to answer your question, yes, you should get it because it's worth it. However, if you have like 2 units, I could understand why you would be hesitant. All right, let's go over to Zoom. So Brent Baldwin. So what's up, Brent? I don't, your name is not familiar. So welcome, bro. Super happy to have you here. So he said, how did you land clients when you only had 1 inflatable in your inventory compared to your local competitors? Did you advertise your only inflatable as quote unquote the only inflatable left to book, open, etc.? No, I did not. Or did your website only have the 1 inflatable shown in your inventory? Or did you wait to get a website until you had a bigger inventory to offer? Great group of questions there. So number 1, if I had a time machine, my wife actually bought 2. We had 2 inflatables to begin with. I would have started the website when we had 2 inflatables, not to get bookings, not to look like I was some professional company, whatever, just to get the SEO juices, right? You're not showing up on Google if you don't have a website. That's it. Shrug. That's it. So yes, I would start the website even if you have 1, just so you can get the SEO juices feeding in for when you do grow. No, I didn't position it as the only last one. I didn't do any of that. Basically, what I did in that early, like I lived and died on Facebook Marketplace, like, right? Because a website is like you're casting your hook out into the ocean and you're waiting for the fish to bite the bait. Well, if you have one inflatable, you don't have any bait. So, but you still want your, right? You still want your hook in the ocean. Marketplace is the opposite. Marketplace is like you going into the sea with a spear and hunting. You can go in and you can make multiple posts for your same bounce house. You have to change the picture, but you can make multiple posts for your same bounce house. You can write a badass description, right? Most everybody that's on Marketplace is, I want to say, I don't want to like disrespect anybody, but they're hacks. They bought 3 bounce houses because they thought they were going to get rich. They don't have insurance. Like, it is what it is, right? The pictures suck. If you take the picture on Facebook Marketplace, I used to be really good at Marketplace, and I'm not anymore. But it wants the picture a certain direction, and I don't know which orientation it wants it. But if you take it wrong, it crops it and makes it super small. Like, so if you just go do a little bit of research, it's very easy to make a good Marketplace post and then write a good description, right? Tell people to just hit the "Are we available now" button, like do all sorts of things to remove friction, which is how I built the jump off. I mean, I did $85,000 in revenue, call it for what it is, on Marketplace in 1 year. You know what I mean? The first year. So
Have you been banned from Marketplace? Because I have
no, my
3
listings all
times.
still up.
So there's a lot of haters in Arizona. I literally had to make 3 different Facebook accounts because everyone kept reporting me and kept getting banned.
For services, for posting services.
Yeah, Facebook, if you have a business, they want you to spend ad money on your
Oh, right.
business, and people would report. Same with OfferUp, Letgo. Craigslist was cool because you would pay the little extra, but that's how I started my business too. Is Facebook Marketplace, and like OfferUp, I got the most things because they have some type of algorithm where they scan shit as soon as you post it and it gets deleted like right away, or it doesn't. Somehow the first time how I got started in the business was I bought my daughter this little tiny water slide from Target. It was like $400, and I posted it on OfferUp, and literally everyone was like, I posted it for $99 to rent, and there were so many people all of a sudden that wanted to rent it. And then when I actually bought my first commercial inflatable and I posted it, it got deleted, and I kept posting like different bounce houses, water slides I was buying. They would all get deleted, but some would stick. Then I was on Facebook Marketplace all the time too.
Yeah, Marketplace, like I still have, like I haven't renewed them or whatever, like they just like live there. Every now and then, like on Easter weekend, it'll blow up all these desperate people. I'm like, no, dude, you got to go over here and book. Like, you got to go book over here. But I used to trick it so when it was winter and I was slow, like, and Christmas light season was over and bounce house season hadn't started, like right now. And I started my little junk haul business. I went on, like, I took a screenshot of like a dump trailer full of garbage and put it on there like I was selling the dump trailer for 10 grand or whatever, I don't remember. And then when the post gets approved to go to Facebook Marketplace, I'd go in and edit all the words on the back end and change it into junk hauling, $150, whatever. And then when
There
you
you
do
go.
that,
There you go.
yeah, when you do that, you can't like, I think you can't renew it. I don't remember. Like I said, it used to be really, because I started selling, like, literally around here, like where I'm from, you can't do this, but here you just put whatever you want at the curb, and the garbage men just take it. Like it's like a free for all. And so I started taking shit off of the curb and selling it on Marketplace while I still had a job. I still worked at Journeys. I was a district manager at Journeys by day, selling shit on Facebook Marketplace, garbage on Facebook Marketplace by night.
Yeah, I
So
respect that.
But I wanted to quit my job so bad. I was willing to hook up the trailer to the Armada, to my wife's Armada, and drive around neighborhoods, grabbing garbage off the side of the road so I could take it home, clean it up, and sell it. Cause I was like, I know when I jump ship to start my company, and it was not going to be an inflatable company, by the way. But when I know when I jump ship to start my company, like I can't start this company working for Journey. So I was working like 65 hours a week. Like I'd fall asleep on the ground by the couch on Friday night at like 7 because I was so empty. The tank was so empty. So it's like, I know I have to quit, then start the business. Like I can't do that thing where you scale them both. And so I'm like, I got to have revenue. You know what I mean? So I learned how to sell on Facebook Marketplace and eBay too. But that's when I got really good at Marketplace. I knew the exact way to take the picture. I knew the exact way to write the description, the whole nine. So then serendipity, right? Whenever we did get bounce houses, I was like, I already know what the fuck, like I already know what to do, you know, and I could make a post that could get rentals fast because I was really good at making sales. Because I, by the way, had quit my job, you know, drove Uber and sold garbage to try and pay the, and then by the way, couldn't pay the bills. Luckily, my wife makes a good living, but Marketplace.
She looks like she makes a good living. She's wearing shoes in the house.
She does, bro. Those expensive shoes. Let's see. We might be out of questions, dude. That might be everybody. Should have bought a foam daddy. I'm aware I should have bought a foam daddy. Okay. Paul's getting a lot of love in here today. Do I have any 4X jump off shirts yet? No, dude. Big E. No, I don't, bro. I need to get you one. You've been asking me for like 2 years.
Sounds like Justin is listening to some good music.
Let's see. What's about? Oh, somebody asked best size. Okay. Oh, it's Raphael again. Said, what's the best size water slide that everyone always rents? Want to go with 16 or 18, but not sure if I should go with those or bigger double land slides. For me, it's 18 foot. Like you can just buy an 18-foot slide, put it in my inventory, and it'll make $8,000 to $10,000 a year, like instant. Like it's just like clockwork. Doesn't matter.
And you can list it as a 22-foot slide.
No shit. Like shock your competitors, but you can get, yeah, depending on who you got around you, it's a 19-foot slide, it's a 20-foot slide. I got a guy that just moved in here that's got 19-foot slides listed as 21-foot slides, but also has 19-foot slides listed as 19-foot slides. It's very confusing.
There's been so many times where I showed up with an 18-foot slide and they're like, oh my God, like this is like literally like 6 feet taller than any other 18-foot slide I've ever rented. I'm like, well, this one's actually 18 feet.
Yeah,
I know,
don't lie.
I know you're getting used to lied to, but this one's 18.
Don't lie. Yeah, 16-foot. I used to have a 16-foot Emerald Crush from EZ. That was a long time ago. That was like 2020. I loved that. Actually, no, I hated that thing. But it's just because it was old and worn out. I bought it used. But that thing rented like I couldn't keep it in stock. It was literally rented that summer. But I did a long time ago, I did Friday to Sunday rentals or whatever. So then if they rented on a weekday, they got it like whatever, Tuesday to Thursday or whatever. It was rented out every single day, right? Doing 3-day rentals, but it was rented out every single day for I think 2 months straight or something wild like that. And it was a 16-foot Emerald Crush from EZ. That 16-foot slide was insane. So I got so worn out.
I still have never bought anything from EZ, but they're like Bouncing Angels. I guess they used to be in business together and they split off. And I bought a 20-foot slide from Bouncing Angels and it was like 17 feet when I actually measured it. And I've only had nothing but bad experiences from Bouncing Angels. I will shit on them all day, every day. Even though Justin Case is not listening, and he said last time that they changed how they are. Oh, there you are. But Bouncing Angels, every single thing that I've bought from them has been complete garbage. The only water slides I've ever bought my entire life where the whole inside of it fills with water and I have to go in there with the shop vac. I got to zip myself in shop back it out, and then dump it out. It's been bouncing angels.
Bro, I got that bouncing angels. What you call it? That the Lego. That thing's awesome. It doesn't fill with water at all. I will say this
Lego?
though. Yeah, no, so I have a slip and slide from them, and that one's heavy as hell when it's wet. But there's not water on the inside. But it's heavier than the other one. It's thicker vinyl. It's gonna last longer. But the style that because originally Eye Candy created that Lego one. And the Lego one is different than all the other units. It looks different. It looks almost similar to something Leisure would put out. So I don't really, but the smaller units are smaller, but they're not wet anyways. And I don't have any bouncing angel slides.
I don't
But
my
my
have the Lego
combo
one.
is solid. You know what I mean?
Oh, their combos, obstacle courses are fucking amazing.
But I don't have any of their slides. So you're telling me, like, which one did you get? This one, like, first of all, you know what I mean? Let me make some
Okay,
clarification.
so
I mess with bouncing angels. I like bouncing angels a lot. So
oh yeah, I know the
here's
owner
another thing
too.
too. And this is with any piece at all. Manufacturer defects happen. And when it comes to like seams and stuff like that, that's the difference. Like, is it leaking in one spot? Is it got a tear somewhere where it's like doing? Is it new? Like, if you, because I assume it's like it was doing this from the start, though, right? You're saying?
Yeah, I mean, literally right off the bat. So even my 22-foot tropical thing I got
Well,
from
if it
they
was
gave
right,
me.
did you try re-putting the slide liner on? It might be put on wrong.
Oh no, I brought it back to them because I'm in Phoenix and they're in California. It's a 5-hour
Okay.
drive. I brought 3 of my slides back there for them to try to fix them. Because I was like, I've never experienced this before. Like every single water slide that I bought from you is leaking water all inside, and I don't know
But
like
either way,
how this.
they took care of you, even though that happened.
Well, they tried to re-glue all the seams that they glue on. Didn't do anything. I had to bring it to one of my dudes over here from Mexico to actually fix it. I just know
What did he do to
I've had
fix
a
it?
bad experience.
I hear you. I'm just curious. I don't, you know what I mean?
His name's Ruben, and a lot of the things, the inflatables I've gotten from him, he gets them from Mexico, from this like company no one's ever heard of, like Gambino, and that shit lasts forever.
Gambino is in the States, I'm pretty sure. Or no,
It's
Gambino might be actually in
some
Mexico.
Spanish Mexican name. I don't know how to say it because I don't speak
I
Spanish. But I
as
just
long as
know,
it's got
like,
product liability in the States, it doesn't matter.
yeah, they probably
I think
don't.
I've heard of Gambinos in California a few times. I've seen them post on Facebook, some of the groups.
Yeah, they might be. Like Giacombis, I'm pretty sure is in freaking California too. That's the only other one I know that's got a G.
I just know my experience from Bouncing Angels.
Yeah,
Their combos are amazing. Their obstacle courses are amazing. Their water slides, I fucking hate them.
I have this one. I
But
just
you
bought
only,
it.
but you only had the one though, right? Or do you have a few of
No.
them?
So I've got the lava one. I don't know what they call it. I got the lava one. The 22-foot tropical is like the orange. The orange, yeah, not the 18-foot. The 22-foot tropical, and then I got they sold it to me as a 20-foot dolphin slide, and then measured it out, and it was the 18-foot. And then when I contacted them about it, they were like, "Whoops! Oh yeah, it's not 20 feet. They're 22-foot tropical, right there, up and to the left. That was yeah,
This one?
that one right there.
That's a good price for a 22-foot slide.
I didn't pay near that. I paid $2,700 for it, so I shouldn't be complaining.
I'm always weary when it doesn't tell me the weight. I'm just being real.
Oh, it's heavy, but I mean, I don't care if it's heavy. I care if it's gonna fill up with water all inside the seams where I gotta give my guys. We gotta put buckets under one side and have the water flow to the other side. So we're in there with shop vacs, like sucking out water. Like, how much does it leak into the inside of the inflatable is what I care about.
Yeah, I have a couple that I think I have two that I just bought out a company that has two. They're both like a weird dolphin one. That's not that big, but both a weird dolphin one. This one, but it's a different color. Yeah, it might be that one. I don't remember. And then
There's the 18-foot. See, they put it at 8. They had that. That's the one I have. They listed it as 20 feet and even said it on the tag as 20 feet.
yeah, there
The
you
one
go.
I got
Those are
it,
the two-
it
these
was
are the two I
18
have.
feet. And yeah, I had to call them out on it. And now
That's the
it's
same one.
18 feet now.
That one and that one with the two
My,
bags. Yeah.
my experience with I just barely bought from them a couple of months ago, Bouncing Angels, and I've been 50-50 on them because I got the same party block combo that Justin got, and that thing is nice. But I also got the toddler unicorn one, and the sizing on it was actually bigger than what I thought I ordered, which kind of messed it up because I was trying to do indoor events like to big houses, and that thing was 11 feet instead of the 9 feet that I hoped that it would be. So it didn't fit inside of regular houses. Yeah, one of those, but the unicorn one.
You're trying to do them in regular houses, you said?
Yeah, so the toddler bounce house they measured it like it was supposed to be under 10 feet. And well, in my house we have 9-foot ceilings. And I'm like, all right, so if it's a 9-foot house and they have a big living room, I'll be able to rent it indoors. Since I'm in Washington, I'm like, in the winter, we're not doing outdoor events, obviously. And I'm like, that maybe that'll work. But when I got it, it ended up being 11 feet, and well, definitely can't do that indoors in most people's houses.
That's crazy. Inside a house would be cool. Would definitely.
I mean, I
Yeah,
went to their
but I was
factory.
thinking like big houses.
Right.
Oh yeah, up north when it's all snowy and stuff, people rent inside houses. But I went there to his factory, met John, the owner. I mean, it's an amazing factory and stuff. But out of every inflatable I've ever bought, the ones that have the most, because I was so inspired. I was like, oh, this is so badass. This is so amazing. I'm gonna spend all my money with you. But every single inflatable that he sold me, except for the one combo and the one obstacle course, the water slides, I cannot stand behind. But like Justin said, like people change up how they manufacture stuff, and it might be different now because that was probably 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, you're making me
I don't
nervous,
know.
bro.
I
Got
just
two 18 foots I just bought from that are
I just
used too.
I just know I won't buy any more water slides from 'em.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I had the and I bought it used and it was beat when I bought it too. It was a 49-foot obstacle course of theirs where it's like a combo like this that hooks to an obstacle course piece. And it had some interesting stuff, but like I didn't judge it because like I said, it was already old when I bought it. So it was like it was what it was. We did like $8,000 $8,500 last year, and then I sold it. But I don't
I
like
think
this, bro. We need to talk with the manufacturers about the rainbow mesh. I freaking hate the rainbow mesh.
so. You hate gays.
Whoa,
I'm
no.
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding. I'm
No.
just kidding.
No. But I like the mesh that's
The
like
kids like it.
yeah, but it always tears, bro. It always dry rots and tears. Always.
Yeah.
Like always. So but like the little, the little black mesh. Oh yeah, my
Mhm.
screen's not shared. You guys can't. Sorry, you guys can't
So
see.
you're racist and homophobic.
Oh, I suppose I walked into it. But yeah, like this always dry rots and rips every time, no matter what. Whereas, like,
The black's way stronger.
and it's like the little teeny tiny holes. I'm a big fan, dude.
Hey, last time I was at Bouncing Angels, I went dumpster diving, and the owner came out. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just getting stuff. I literally, I have so much repair vinyl and all that the good mesh, like in my house. Cause I was just like, you're throwing this away. I'm taking it. He was like, hell yeah. He was like excited about it. He was like, take the
That's
trash.
funny.
I was
Yeah,
literally inside of his dumpster, just
yeah,
throwing all this stuff out.
that's good stuff to have, dude. I have like at the warehouse, I have like this goofy ass thing, bro. I took it out of the fucking trash can. I'm not even caring. I took it off the fucking side of the road and fixed it. But it's like this little tower of drawers or whatever. And there's 2 drawers that are like repair drawers, like vinyl, all the vinyl, like the vinyl cement, whatever. And I don't know where I got this, but I have 3 different kinds of that black mesh. I have little sections so we could sew in to fix them. I don't even know where I got them.
And you can sew this stuff in with fishing string,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and fishing line if you don't want anyone to see it.
It's easy too. Like if that black mesh rips, like just put it over, bro, and sew it. It's so easy. If that rainbow mesh rips, I have seen it been like I think I've taken one to Spacewalk and had Spacewalk repair one before, and they like wrap it and like weave it into the new piece. I'm like, this is such bullshit. Like, why are we still making units with this, dude? Just put the mesh on there.
Just keep it black.
Oh, bro, we got an Omega question. Good questions here. What do you guys think of Omega? Wife keeps telling me to buy it, but I keep saying hell no. Yeah, bro, you're right. You needed.
That's something I've always wanted to try though. Everyone talks so much shit just because it's from China, but I feel like China people, they and Vietnamese and all those Asian countries, they know how to sew so much better. Americans, everyone over here, they hate their job. They're not putting all that they have into it. Them Asians over there, they're making shit like perfect. Like almost everything in my house is from China, and I fucking love it. And everyone talks so much shit about them, but like I do want to try because I know that it's gonna be such an amazing inflatable. But everyone
No,
talks so much shit about it.
no,
You
they're
have one?
garbage. No, hell no, I don't have one. I've seen one though. They're like single stitch, bro. Like you know when like a crappily made inflatable, like where it's like needs to bend like this, it ripples, like the vinyl ripples. A well-made inflatable, like it's smooth, like it looks good and crisp. Those
Mhm.
Omega ones are just like cranked out. Everybody make all their stuff is made in China or Malaysia or Indonesia, but obviously mostly China. Everybody's like, I don't think there's anybody left that I know of off the top of my head. Maybe Ultimate Jumpers still makes their shit in California, but other than that, I'm pretty sure everybody is just manufactured overseas. But they designed them, like they're designed in CAD here. Here's how we want it. They send the specs over to China, and then China makes it. China has no fucking idea what they're making. They're just following the instructions that they're getting from the manufacturer here, right? HEC, Bouncing Angel, doesn't matter. They're sending the instructions over to China, then China follows the instructions. If you leave a factory in China to their own devices to make and sell inflatables, the shit that they're gonna churn, they don't know what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing.
You're making me want to try it and buy one.
If you want to buy from China, you can. And if you really, really want to buy from China, you got to get me next year in December. I'll split a freaking shipping container with you. You know what I mean? We have 65 units, but we are going to have to design every single unit they make. Like you have to design, and the details, the level of detail that you have to design or else they'll fuck it up is surprisingly high. Like it's incredible. I've seen zippers 12 feet high on the water slide because they don't know that like when you take it down after a rental, like you have to unzip that to get the air out. They don't know that. They just know a zipper goes on the back. So they put a fucking zipper on the back and then it's 10 feet in the air. Like it's meticulous, dude. It's brutal. It's brutal what they go through to get it right. You know what I mean? When you have a company though that's like HEC or like EZ that's been around for a bazillion years, their inflatables looked goofy back in the day, but were functional, you know what I mean, a decade ago. but they have a decade's worth of tweaks to where now they look like what they look like. You know, you want to start manufacturing inflatables. The stuff that's going to come in is going to be goofy, dude, because you don't know what to tell them to do.
So that's why the Bouncing Angels inflatables suck, because they don't actually rent anything from there. They don't know what it's like. They have no clue.
I guess, bro. I don't know. All right. Stuff looks like it's winding down. So if anybody has any last second questions, get them in because I'm about to end the show.
I think it's time to call it a night.
Yep, I think it's time to go. So everybody, I love these shows. I miss doing them. I'm super glad to be back. Trying to figure out a way to make the show a little bit bigger and get more people on here. So share everything that we do with all the people that you know and love. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, and you made it this far, like, good for you. That's freaking hour and 45 minutes. If you're listening on the podcast, also good on you. Hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, we'll be back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Booze and Biz. We're gonna do it every week going forward. I do have some vacations planned where it's not happening, but other than that, we're doing it every weekend. Or sorry, every week, Wednesday. All right, I think that's it. That's all. So thanks for joining us. Love you guys.
Later.
Peace out.
Peace.